What's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Today, we're going to be talking about the XRP price chart and the last 5.5 years of price action that we've seen happen here on the XRP price chart, discussing Elliott waves and referencing back to a video that was published there on June 26th. Titled XRP Bull Run Priced Based on Elliott Wave Triangle and the Past versus 2021 Bitcoin and Ethereum Bull Runs. This video did relatively well back in June prior to the SEC lawsuit coming to a conclusion in which XRP was declared to be not a security. But back in June, we were doing the Elliott wave count on XRP as we had suspected that we were already in Wyckoff accumulation and awaiting a breakout. In that video, we went through a lot of the rules on Elliott wave theory, which I have here on bcbacker.com. And specifically, we spent some serious time talking about triangles and zigzags. And today, we're going to check and see how we are progressing along in a contracting triangle for XRP with the breakout that we've now had, and what would be the rules going forward in the hopes to get a big breakout to send this thing moving, as we discussed in detail on this video. Now, I'll give you guys a little bit of a peek of some of the stuff we do talk about here in Elliott wave theory so you have a basic understanding of what we're going to talk about in this video. But Elliott wave theory suggests that price moves in motive waves, and within a motive wave of 5 waves, we have 3 impulsive waves and 2 corrective waves. In other words, we have an impulsive wave with a correction, another impulsive wave with a correction, and another impulsive wave with a correction. This is your standard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Elliott wave, which then concludes with an A, B, C correction. One of the major challenges we recognized that took place there back in 2020 and 2021 was that as Bitcoin broke off and went to a 4.236 extension for its market cap, and Ethereum broke off and went to a 4.236 extension for its market cap, XRP did no such thing, still staying well below the previous all-time high. If we look here at the market cap over there on TradingView, we can actually see that move actually took us almost to the 702 retracement here on XRP's market cap, unable to get through. Another major challenge is that with Elliott waves and impulses and bull runs is that we should be seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulses or motive waves to the upside for a bull market. However, not only did XRP not take out its previous all-time high, but it actually ended up doing an ABC in here, in which we have an A, B, C, and within each wave, we have the appropriate count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So why would we do a corrective wave in here rather than a motive or impulsive wave to the upside? Well, we run through that in detail in this video from back on June 26th, doing a full count, and we dive into triangles. In particular, talking about contracting triangles. That's included here in the PDF on bcbacker.com. That's discussed in detail in the video over here on bcbacker.com. And with the additional learning material to stock charts, we can see that same contracting triangle over here. And the concept of a contracting triangle is that it is a consolidation pattern before a continuation move happens. And what ends up happening is we have an ABC followed by another ABC and another ABC, ABC, and ABC. And these eventually lead you into having a contracting triangle before then moving up. Now, the thing about a contracting triangle is that it can show up in 2 separate places. It can show up in corrective wave 4 of a 5-wave motive wave, or it can show up here in corrective wave B in an ABC correction. There is one other place that they can show up in, and I will show that to you in just a moment, but keep that in the back of your head. There's one other place these can show up in, but conceptually, you can see it. The triangle contracts and gets tighter and tighter. We have an A, B, C, D, E, and each wave back and forth is consisted of an ABC, 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 which back in June, we were doing the wave count on to show that's precisely what we had done, and that we had essentially completed C and we're in the middle of D. And without getting too deep into wave counts in here, which we did do back in this video, we essentially have an A, B, C, we'll change that color, followed by an A, B, C, followed by an A, B, C, And now in here, trying to identify an ABC, which would mean we're looking for another ABC to happen in here, right? We need to figure out where is wave E, where is the ABC for wave E? Well, we have to figure out what are the rules for like an ABC, right? And a typical ABC can be a zigzag. And a typical zigzag will consist of a 5-3-5 correction or a 1-2-3-4-5 ABC 1-2-3-4-5. As I've shown here in the PDF, and as you can see, wave C tends to be of similar length of wave A. So essentially the C leg tends to be pretty close in length to what the A leg was. So if we're trying to find another ABC to show up in here for wave E, are we exhibiting that right here already? Are we at the final ending of a contracting triangle and now starting to print E, which would mean we're looking for ABC to conclude E and send this puppy on its way. And it's nice to be at this phase. When this video was recorded back in June, we had not done D yet, and we're still waiting to even get there, but now moved on to the next one. And so essentially looking for A, B, C. We do see the A, B, C in the corrective wave here, but what was the rule for a zigzag for a complete A, B, C? It was that wave C tends to be in similar length as wave A. In other words, we're looking for wave A to be just about the same length as wave C. So wave A and wave C. Are we close? You better believe it, we're close. Matter of fact, we've already hit it. These have been of equal length, as XRP did hit 59.5 cents. So you say to yourself, wait a minute, we just ABC'd, we did a zigzag, waves of equal length. Is it time to get Mooney? Maybe, but I'm not going to be too quick on that one just yet. We've followed this for quite some time. We had even hoped that this breakout that happened in here for XRP would be similar to the one that happened back here in 2017. It definitely deviated away from that. This one only lasted 1 week. We noticed it right away when it got back to the 702 retracement in here and started rolling over. When it was still above 80 cents, it was already exhibiting different behavior of what had happened in that past breakout. In addition, we all know what's the requirement? Bitcoin. Has Bitcoin gone? No. So is it a little too soon to sit here and scream Mooney? It might be a little too early. And I want to show you the things I'm watching for here. I think one of the most important parts is that we do at least go ahead and start to find some support in here. If there's another dip a little bit lower, not the end of the world. In a crashing structure, there's typically one more that does come in here that dips just slightly below the current low at 59.7, 59.6. But in general, finding that support coming in very soon. But if you remember when we talked about this, I said there's two different places that this can show up in. It can show up in corrective wave 4, or it can show up in corrective wave B. But I also said, keep it in the back of your mind that there's one other place these can show up in that wave E can actually be a little bit different than wave A, B, C, or D. But this E wave with this ABC can be slightly different, which we can actually see down here. And it says, a triangle may extend by having its fifth wave, which is wave E, also be a triangle of lesser degree. Instead of wave E being a 3-wave structure, which we're counting out right here, it will be another horizontal triangle. And this just demonstrates the level of complexity that Elliott wave theory can reach. But what are we saying here? We're saying that wave E can be different than A, B, C, or D in that instead of just being a 3-wave structure, it will be another horizontal triangle. And what does horizontal triangle mean? It means we could essentially ABC, 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 and then go, creating yet another contracting triangle right here in our final E wave, rather than having a 3-wave structure being a horizontal triangle. And of course, we're using the contracting triangle in here because that's what we see on XRP over the course of the last 5.5 years. But a horizontal triangle can actually be several different types. It could be ascending, as we show in here in the PDF. It could be descending. It could be contracting. It could be a total pain in the backside. The most common one that I do see in crypto in these scenarios is usually the contracting again, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, or ascending triangle, where we bump up against the top multiple times before finally getting through. But I think it's important to keep it in mind seems likely we're finding our support coming in here pretty soon. Multiple reasons. One, this is the breakout level that we were stuck under for a year and 2 months. Simply just a back test. Two, the XRP versus Bitcoin price chart's been stuck underneath the 200-week moving average for over 4 years. This was a breakout. We can even see right here, back test, we're within 2-3% of the 200-week moving average. Makes perfect sense that this is just a back test level that we're at. So not only do we have it over there on the XRP versus Bitcoin price chart, we have it over here on the XRP USD chart. And then, like we talked about with ABC corrections, with zigzags happening in here, wave A and C tend to be near equality in length. And that we can see that wave A, which is negative 28 cents, is nearly equivalent to wave C at negative 28 cents. So those all match up and look pretty good. And zigzags, Elliott wave theory already suggest the bottom is actually already in, and that this thing could go firing back up into the range at any moment. But what I really wanted to do with this video was update the progress of where we're at based on what we talked about back in June when we were discussing the Elliott wave count on XRP. The next phase we were looking for was to get to D completing itself and then shifting into E. It seems pretty reasonable to think that we are already in E and that we've already completed an ABC correction of a zigzag with waves of equality length for waves A and C. The challenge now moves to, rather than just being a 3-wave structure, it can be another horizontal triangle in here. And so while we can be excited looking for an ABC to happen, which we definitely see has happened in here, I'm going to be mindful in this range that in Elliott wave theory, in this phase, we will typically see multiples shifting back and forth until finally it completes another A, B, C, D, E, and then goes. But the positive thing about that is that if we do get the marker showing up here to where XRP shifts back up within the range in Elliott wave theory triangles, that marks the bottom, that's the low. 59.5 cents ended up being the number. That was it. And that no matter how we behave in here, we shouldn't take out that low again. But that when that one completes, that would be the full completion of an A, B, C, D, E contracting triangle taking over 5.5 years. That would be the final phase. And if this ends up being true, that it was a contracting triangle, final phase, the next move is the beginning of go time. And hopefully we see something in the range of about $10. So going forward, moving forward, this is what I'm going to be looking for now. This is what I'm paying attention to. A move back up would be exciting. You'd see euphoria come back onto Twitter. You'd see it back in YouTube videos. You see it everywhere. But as I typically do, try to keep those emotions in check. And a price move back up could potentially just be a move within a range. The great news is that would be within wave E of a contracting triangle. It's the final range. It's a small range when we look at the grand scheme of things. But right now, the thing that we're looking for is to get that marker that we're moving back up into the range. Should it do so, that should mark that is the bottom. So there's a little progress update on where we're at currently right now. Should we be in a contracting triangle? We spent some time talking about this back in June. It appears we have moved on from phase D and have worked our way into phase E. I wanted to show you guys the rules of phase E. Consists of ABCs, typically consists of a horizontal triangle in the final phase. That's what we'll be paying attention to moving forward. And fortunately, this thing has still been humming along and all seems well. But all right, that's going to be it for this one. I hope that you enjoyed this content. If you liked learning about Elliott waves, as you saw, there's references multiple times in here to bcbacker.com. It's my website. This is a course that I put together where I deep dive into the cryptocurrency market, talking about how the crypto market has worked in the past and really teaching a lot of the different patterns, Wyckoff method, Elliott wave theory, to help educate everybody in order to have emotional management and understanding of price movements that happen here within the cryptocurrency market. Talking about Elliott wave theory in depth, as you saw in here, but also talking in depth about Wyckoff method and really a lot of this historical context of what has happened in the crypto market in the past to have a better understanding of what's going on. I also share a lot of personal experiences from within the market and things that I have learned myself to help overcome some of the expensive lessons that we do learn. There's over 40 videos in here with over 11 hours of video content. And like you saw, there's downloadable PDF files that you can keep for yourself. And you can check this out over here on bcbacker.com. There's also a link in the description of this video that you are watching Otherwise, I wish you guys a great day. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you could be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice, and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.